What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's going on, y'all? Another week.
Here we are. Yes, sir. Another week. It is week. What are we on? Week 4?
Yep, week 4.
Week 4 of the Big at 11 kickoff show. Start getting everything set up here. How you doing this weekend, Johnny?
Man, this is going by fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
We wait all this time and it's going by fast. And before you know it, it'll be playoff time.
Yeah. And you gotta remember we got 2 buys this season too, so that'll extend it a little bit, but you're right. Yeah, it's you look up and you be like, man, I can't wait for football to get here, and then like boom, 3 games has already been passed you by. So I completely agree with that. Appreciate the 3 folks we got in the chat here to start us out. Go ahead, drop us a like if you do not mind. Appreciate you. I guess we can go ahead and start with the game that happened last night. We had a Friday night game on Fox. Devin Gardner on the call, Michigan's very own. Shout out to DG. Hell of a game.
Yeah.
Hell of a game. Hell of a good game. I think both teams came to play. Both quarterbacks showed out. I think Raiola showed a little bit of his freshman traits, like his freshman hiccups a bit. But Ottmeyer on the other side, man, he was cold. He was lights out. And they didn't ask him to do a whole lot. But he did enough. You know what I mean? He made timely throws. He was efficient. I think he had 3 or 4 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, I think it was. A little over 230 yards, 240 yards, something like that. So just a very efficient game, which you need if you're going to lean on the run and play tough defense. I think that's what Brett Bielema wants to do at Illinois. So yeah, man, shout out to them. Definitely looking at Illinois to be, I don't know if they'll be a title contender, but they are going to be a problem for some teams here coming up on the slate. What did you think about Nebraska on the other side?
I thought Nebraska was pretty good. They still got to learn to win, like you're in the Big Ten. You're going to have these teams that, when we're on top, we on Illinois, okay, we probably going to smack them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what in our mind. But, when you got a team like Nebraska, they still trying to get to that upper echelon. So
true.
Illinois has what they want to do in place, that we're going to play strong defense, run the ball, quarterback, don't lose it, make a few throws, and we're going to, see where we at in the fourth quarter, basically. Yeah. And that's what happened against Nebraska, So I think that's part of the maturation of Dylan and Matt Rule.
I wanted so bad to like give Matt Rule some props. I wanted to be like, hey, yo, look at Matt Rule. This the whole year 2 thing. Here he come. And it's like the same way Nebraska has been losing games for the last 3-4 years is the same way they lost this one. You got an opportunity under 4 minutes left. You got the ball, right? And then you fumble it, right? And then again, I know that's the freshman hiccups. They don't actually turn it over. I think they end up punting the ball away, right? But
yeah,
it's just like those are the gotta have it moments that have never really materialized for Nebraska, here in recent memory. So you would like to see those things start to happen before you kind of get on the full blown Nebraska train. Like the win versus Colorado was cool, but I think we understand that Colorado is a team that has some things to grow on, right? They're not a complete team either. So no. It would have been nice to see them get a tough win versus an opponent like that. But they got time. They got a young team. So
yeah. This isn't the end of Dylan's story.
No,
this is just a starting point. So he just got to learn how to win. You just got to learn how to win at this level consistently. That every play every game is you can possibly lose. You know what I'm saying? If you're not focused, and nothing beats execution.
That's a fact.
So
That's a fact.
they just gotta learn that, but they're gonna be scary in the future, I believe. Unfortunately.
Yeah. No, they will be something to contend with. We unfortunately we don't play them this year, but down the road, I think they will be something to look out for with Raiola. I think he had about 300 yards last night, anyways, in spite of the loss. So look
Exactly.
good.
He's nice. Once
Look good.
he gets his feet, once the game really slows down for him, then it's gonna be something to worry about.
Trouble. Let me get the games up here in front of me so I can run down the list. I do want to start, of course, it is a rivalry podcast, Ohio State and Michigan State. So I kind of want to book in the show this weekend like that for a couple of reasons. Number one, Michigan has a blockbuster matchup at 3:30 on CBS versus USC. And that's going down in the big house. So big time matchup there. We'll probably spend a lot of time talking about that. So we'll get that out of the way here in a second. But also, I got a conspiracy theory on Ohio State's game later that I want to share with y'all. And I want y'all to let me know what you think because, it's coming up right here around the corner. They kick off at 12, but we'll close it out on Ohio State and my conspiracy theory. But before we delve into any of that, I do want to remind everybody that we are doing this every Saturday at 11 o'clock. We kick off. We're going to review every Big Ten game. We are going to review any games that have come during the week before we record. Obviously, college football-y style kickoff show. Come join us. Tune in, and then we also have the 30-minute rivals every Tuesday. Now that's going up. It'll be some type of rotation of one of us. Me and Josh and Johnny. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Ohio State and Michigan games from the week prior and pregame analysis for the week coming. So with that being said, I guess we'll start in on Michigan's game with USC. Obviously, the main storyline on the Michigan side being that Alex Orji has been named the starter this week. I feel like there's anxiety, but there's also a lot of optimism and hope. I think around Orji being the guy, I think what a lot of people and fans envisioned coming into the season was maybe not an offense that was going to be top 20, top 15 in the country, but something efficient enough to complement our defense. And we would get to see something that we hadn't seen from the quarterback position in terms of athleticism, right? And that was going to kind of lead the way offensively. With it being Davis Warren and it going the way it went, it led a lot of people to kind of get down on the team inside and outside of the fan base. So now with there being this kind of change, being the guy that everybody was kind of pulling for in the offseason to begin with, what do you think that kind of does for the team going into a matchup like this versus a USC team that's coming in with a lot of momentum?
I think it's going to uplift the morale of the team some because I think a lot of those dudes expected Orji to start. I think that's just there's no concrete evidence of that, but it kind of seems like it if you've been paying attention that a lot of those dudes expected Orji to be a starter. And when you've been on a football team, I don't care any type of middle school to high school level, we all know that there's always been the guy the coach has, and then the guy that the players really want to play. It don't happen all the time, but we've seen it before. So,
Yep.
You always get that split where, yeah, he's the starter, but we really want him to start the games. We really trust this guy. And for whatever reason, coach don't play him. So I think it's going to definitely help that Orji's the starter for the team morale. Because I think those dudes believe in him because when you're, if he's consistent, but I think you get those freak of nature plays from him and they see that. Because I think, what was that? Sam Webb was saying that most of the defensive guys were like, man, Orji's a hell to go against, which
is insane because let's put this into the proper context now. Origi is not he's not read optioning every day in practice, or even if he is and they allow him to get some contact because they know he's going to be the running quarterback, they not letting guys just tee off and hit him like he's in game.
No.
So for him to show that he's a difference maker in those parts of camp, 7-on-7, 1-on-1 throwing drills, right? 2-minute drill, the team offense in the offseason. Like, if he's able to do that in those periods where his greatest trait is not able to be highlighted, I just don't understand how we got off of him. I don't get it. That will continue to be a mystery to me. But I agree with you that it does bring the team up. It definitely gives you, number one, for the defense, it gives you some confidence if you know a guy is going to give you a blow on the other side. Pause. Like, if he's going to give you a rest, you know what I mean? If he's going to give you some time on the sideline and not fumble the ball, throw an interception, get a 3 and out, have to punt the ball right back to him, so you right back on the field. You play with a little bit more confidence, a little bit more reckless abandon, because you know we get these guys off the field, offense is going to take care of us and going to put points on the field, right? If we get the ball back for our offense, they're going to take it away from them so that we don't have to do as much. That's how Michigan teams have won here in the past. I think that's how they should have been from the start. The idea of balance, with the passing game kind of took us further away from that. Offensively, it just gives you a better chance of being on schedule. As putrid as things have been on offense, it hasn't been so bad that there's nothing to build on. And so if you can just stay on schedule, it gives you a chance to see what you have in some of these other guys. Like, see what you have in a Tyler Moore, see what you have in a Samaj Morgan, see what we're doing if we can keep the ball and maximize Colston Loveland and not turn it over so much. Like Khalil Mullins, Donovan Edwards, all of these guys, these are guys who can make a difference. I'm not saying that they're going to be all conference, all American, but they're guys who can make plays for you in games. And that's what we need. We need a steady offense that can possess the ball, score points, keep the ball from another team. And as long as we can do that, we have a chance of beating damn near anybody. Where we get into trouble is when we lose the turnover battle, where we're losing first down. So now we have to throw from behind the chains. We're not in a dominant position at any facet of the offensive play. And when you're doing like that, you either better have a stud at quarterback, like a bona fide throwing stud, or you better just be able to out talent the other team. And that's just not going to be the case offensively for us this season in most of the cases. So I think we will, I think we'll see a back to basics, like the back to basics that we saw with the defense last week. That's what I expect to see offensively. Get back to the stuff that we do best. Duo the hell out of them, power the hell out of them, and for the hell of it, put a read on it. Put a read on it so they can't crash down on the running back. And now we got motion, baby. We got motion. Okay, now you want to play corners. You want to have the safety sitting at 6.5, 7 yards, screaming downfield at the run. Fine. Let's play outside. Colston, go to the flanker. Go to the X, Colston. Okay, Donovan, go to the X. Go out. Garrison, you said you wanted to see Donovan split out wide. I think you just might see that if USC plays the way I think they're going to play. I think you just might get a peek at that this game. And that is where the most question is for the team right now, right? Is can Alex Orji hit those throws? What I mean, with as limited information as we have on that, what do you think is going to happen? What are we going to get from Alex today?
Honestly, I think that's the great question right now. Everybody is wondering because they act like they've got a plan for him, but then when we see him, it kind of looks like you don't trust him all the way. You know what I'm saying? But then you run it all those times, and then you throw that you throw the play action pass in there, and it's boom. It's looking right. He just needs more reps to hit that. You know what I mean? Like, once he gets the first team reps, and this is the hope, he might get the first team reps and he still can't hit that. but I think he can when he just gets the reps and the receivers actually, okay, you're going to probably get the ball. Your job is to run your route all the way, brother. Run your route. Run your route. That's all. That's your job.
Do your job. Don't worry about the other guy throwing you the ball. You do your job first.
Exactly.
You
know? Do your job and then look up, and you might get a surprise. Oh, touchdown.
Yeah. Now we got some motion. I think that Brett Hagan makes a good point. I think he makes an excellent point. There is a bit of a question mark, not just with Alex hitting those throws, but also, are we calling a game that's conducive to what Alex does best? Right? Obviously,
that's my worry.
Whoever or whatever led us to this decision we're going with Davis, we thought it was more successful for the first 3 weeks to do that instead of what Alex does best. So now, are you changing your mentality as a play caller to fit what he does? You can't just go into it and be like, all right, well, it's your turn to try my offense, because your offense was set for another guy. Your offense was set for a Davis Warren, right? Your offense was set for a guy who's not going to put his shoulder into a defensive back, and then you're going to try to have him throw a deep 20-yard pass. That's going to be some of the rhythm that's going to need to be involved in this offense, because you're going to have to account for that. Alex Orji is a runner. The same way you try to give a spell to a Donovan or Khalil because they took a hard shot or they've run in the middle 3 or 4 times, you're going to have to do that with Alex. So maybe it's an RPO off of one of those big shots where he's running and he takes a shot instead of a deep play action shot. That is the type of deviance he's going to have. He's going to have to really challenge himself. Now I'm talking about Kirk Campbell. He's going to have to challenge himself as a play caller to be different, right? You can't run the same playbook out there that you had with Davis Warren and think that Alex Orji fixes all those issues, and if he can't do it, then that's his fault. No. We're going with a different guy. So now it's incumbent on you to play differently. And I think they will. I think his skill set calls on them to play differently.
I mean, they've been acting like they got a whole different playbook for him. You know what I'm saying? We got a plan for him. And they've been saying this since spring ball.
Well, we got a package. Well, his package is the offense now. So whatever it is, I hope y'all put a whole bunch of stuff in there, which, again, what are we talking about here, man? It's not that complicated. We've seen parts of it early in the game last week. RPO in the Khalil's belly, pull it out to the flat to Marlon Klein. We around the corner for 6, right? What else did we see? We seen the deep play action shot to Moore. We also saw them do a QB power, and we saw them do a duo read with Alex Orji. All of that stuff is already in the offense. All that stuff is already in the offense. You've just added the extra aspect of the quarterback pulling the ball on a lot of our running plays, and we're going to RPO more.
And you know why it bothers me? Because looking at our team in the offensive line and the receivers, that's the best offense for what we have.
Mm-hmm.
I could only imagine how it would have looked against Fresno if they would have gotten a rhythm with it, doing all those RPOs. You got all that orbital motion, guys getting on the edges, and then you're running with Orji. So it's keeping you ahead of the chains most of the time.
Yep.
Who knows what this offense would be at this point? But you wanted to, I don't trust. It's just, it leaves you with a little like, man.
It does leave you a little worried. Like I agree with Brett. It leaves you to question because of how they landed on the decision and how they stuck with it for so long. You kind of have some worry about that, but we'll see how that plays out on the offensive side. On defense, though, I think the task is a little bit different. I think the talk around Miller Moss, while it's warranted, he's a good thrower. They have a good offense. They got good wide receivers. I think it is a little bit inflated by what they did in week 1 versus LSU. As you kind of watch LSU's season start to unfold here, I don't think that they were necessarily the powerhouse on defense they were touted to be going into that game. If you watch them play South Carolina last week, South Carolina handed them a win kind of in Nebraska fashion, like just kind of didn't want to win the game. It was more so of that than LSU beating them. If anybody caught that game, but that goes to say that there's still a lot unknown about USC and their change of their defense, right? Even though they are playing a lot more competently, the stuff that we are heralding them for is tackling. They tackle well now, or they're lined up in their spots. And I understand that's a step forward. That's an improvement. Shout out to Deanson Linton.
I can appreciate that after what we were doing against Texas.
Shout out to Deanson. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We understand that that's a big thing. But at the same time, I don't think USC is top 50 in rush defense. I don't think they're top 50 in pass defense. They were able to get a lot of pressure on Utah State. They didn't do as much versus LSU and Nessmeyer. So there is some prove it on USC side too, right?
Yeah, definitely. And they're being touted like they've arrived already.
Right. This is Miller Moss's first true road game. I guess if you count the bowl game, that's more of a neutral site thing, but whatever, and then he had the neutral site versus LSU. So I don't know if that plays as much as people put it on it, because he seems like a pretty poised guy. But this is a day where he can see some things that are unfamiliar to him. All right. This is a day where he can see he has to play a different type of game. He has to be a little bit more patient. Does he have that in him as a young guy? We've seen that in Dylan Raiola last night. Instead of throwing the ball away when things break down, we're taking very bad sacks. We're not putting two hands on the ball as guys are rushing passes, as they're flying in, and we're dropping the ball. Like, there was a lot of freshman-y type of plays. Do we get that out of a similar type of touted young quarterback who hasn't had a lot of in-game, all right, we need to have it, versus great competition? I mean, there's the LSU game, there's the Holiday Bowl, and that's the bulk load of what we have to go off on Miller Moss. There's still a lot to be proven there. So what do you think they can do?
I want to see for Michigan, though. I want to see as far as the defensive side, I want to see them get some wins early. Like, get off the field fast.
Yep.
Like, don't let them go from the 25 to almost field goal range on the first drive, or get a field goal. I want to see them get off the field early, almost like the Bama game.
Yeah.
Where from the first snap on defense, it was like, yeah, it's about to be a long game for y'all. Yeah. I didn't know you know now. This is it's you. Yeah, you in it. You in it now. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that, because the confidence that you just think about that, the confidence that the defense had. I don't see as much of that because I don't think they're confident exactly in what we're doing right now. Well, what Wink is doing. So I'd love to see them come out that first defensive drive, get off the field, get a sack, or, just get off the field instantly, be on the same page, look like exactly what USC is trying to do, and execute and stop it. You get what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah. I want to see that.
It's going to need to be a good mix. I think he's going to have to prove that he can dice you up on blitz like a Quentin Ewers. Again, this still a young guy who hasn't seen a lot of complex coverages, right? LSU doesn't have a very complex scheme. So it is going to have to be a mix, but I agree. He's going to have to get the majority of the time. We're going to have to do things that just benefit the players. And I think that's a little bit more important than maybe the specialness of the scheme. I don't know where you find a medium in that, because you need some of that to beat Lincoln Riley, I think, and get them off schedule on first down. But at the same time, you don't want, this is not the game to have guys out there running confused in concepts that they can't play in.
No, because if you do,
it'll be a happy medium. I think we'll see some different personnel swappings at times. We'll see some more of Ikawana, who had a big game last week. We'll see some more of Amir Hall, hopefully, who had a big game last week.
I hope he starts, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm hoping he starts, please.
Yeah, we're coming along with Jair, but this is a game that we need it now. We need it now. So hopefully we see some more of Amir, and hopefully Jair makes some plays, right? This is a good game to make some plays and to gain some of that confidence that you were talking about. Jayshon Barham as well, another name that we're still waiting to pop off screen. like Lord God, Jesus. And if it doesn't happen, we would like to see some more Jimmy Roller, who had a pretty good game last week versus Arkansas State. So a lot of options to go through.
If you don't see it from like Barham, my thing is, okay, put in Roller more, but you can still use Barham.
Ernest to Mike.
You can still use Barham to back up the edge players.
Yeah, now if you got TJ Guy and Barham on the edge as the second edge rushers, that's not a bad look. It's not a bad look.
3rd and long. All right. I know you confused, brother. I know.
Just go get it. Go get it. Don't let him get outside of you.
Just go. Hey, please.
All right. So we spent a lot of time on the Michigan game. We talked a little bit about Illinois and who they played? Nebraska. Let's move on to Kirk Cignetti's team, Indiana. They got Charlotte here coming up at noon. I've been surprised by Indiana this season. Yeah, Indiana has surprised me. They're 3-0, rolling in. They're most likely going to get a win here versus Charlotte. I like what Indiana's putting together early. Had a big win last week versus UCLA. I don't know what's going on out there in that part of Southern California, but Indiana got it going, man. I don't know what they'll challenge for this year. I don't expect them to beat any of the big teams, the good teams, Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, Penn State. But they're going to get somebody they're not supposed to this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. I just hope it ain't us. We better have our stuff together. Because, we have had trouble with them in the past, but we usually would win it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want to let them sneak one. I hate to lose those. And then you play them, and then they always bring it up when they beat you last. And it's like,
yeah.
So, but he's building something. We've seen Indiana get built to a almost
respectable level. Yeah, for sure.
Like 2020, they almost won the Big Ten. Like they had Ohio State on the ropes that year. So with Michael Penix, of course, and a bunch of stud receivers, but it's possible for them to be built into something. You know?
Yeah, I like them, man. I think they are a tough-minded team. I think their coach, he leads them, right? Like it's one thing to be a coach and be a leader of a team and do all the coach speak and obviously be out there for the press conferences and stuff like that. He actively leads them. Like he's the shit talker and he backs it up in the way that he calls games. And I like that. I like that in a coach, man. It's very what is the Detroit Lions coach? What's their head coach's name?
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell. Now he can't call a game to save his life, but his attitude I like. I like that Vrabel type of attitude. You know what I mean? I like that. But I think, in years to come, Indiana, like you said, they may be something to contend with. I don't think they necessarily have the talent to beat any of the better teams that I mentioned a minute ago. Illinois might down the road, they're pretty talented, but even still, I think that their best shot is maybe 8 wins this season, and that would be a success to me for Indiana in year one. I mean, they're already halfway there.
Definitely.
What was the next game here? Maryland.
I've been worried about them.
Yeah, no, Illinois is going to be a problem. Again, it's another one of those. If we're playing well by the time we get Illinois, we have a talent differential. So you theoretically should win that game off of that alone. Now, if we're turning the ball over, if the defense still has headaches, if we still got guys not knowing what they're doing, that game's gonna be a crapshoot. Every game's gonna be a crapshoot if that's what we're looking at.
It's like 2022 when we played them. They were fighting us tough, but then we were about to go in for a score to be up 10, I think, at half, and then Blake fumbles. Blake gets injured and fumbles. Wasn't available. So we're on our third running back.
We was giving the ball to what was his name?
Isaiah Gash.
Gash. Isaiah Gash. Woo! He caught the pass, the first down to ice the game. I was like, oh my God, who did he just throw the ball to? Almost had a heart attack that game.
Yeah, JJ was missing open dudes and
it was bad. Yeah, no, that one was bad.
Yeah, all because we lost our starting running back and didn't have the good backup.
So. What was the next game up? I think Maryland at Villanova. Maryland's rolling. Billy Edwards doing his best Talia Tagovailoa impression. What do you obviously they're going to beat Villanova today. I don't think they should have any problems, but what are you seeing from Maryland early on in this season?
Mike Locksley is just good. He's just good, a good offensive mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd love to have him as the offensive coordinator right now, bro. Like, could you just imagine the type of stuff he'd be scheming up for Orgy or Warren, whoever? Like, he schemes these dudes open. Like,
wait, who are we talking about?
Maryland's coach.
Locksley, right?
Yeah, Mike Locksley.
Oh, okay, yeah. I would love to have Mike Locksley. Absolutely. I thought
you thought I was talking about Gaddis.
I was about to say no. He can't come back over here. I don't care what he do.
No Gaddis.
He can't come back over here ever. Don't you ever come back around this way.
Come on. I'm talking about good football. Real football.
No, tell State Witness to stay over there in Maryland.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd love to have him as the offensive coordinator right now. The type of stuff he schemes up, and he's honestly, if I'm gonna be real about him, he's dialed up some flawless game plans on offense, at least against Michigan, against Ohio State, against probably Penn State, pretty much all of the Big Ten, the top of the Big Ten. He's called offensive games that were good enough to win. His players just wouldn't execute it. You'd have dudes wide open, touchdown, here's a flag. You'd have dude wide open, drops the touchdown. That dude.
That would be a dream. That would be a dream to have Mike Locksley on a redemption arc. Like, man, Maryland finally let him go. He needed an audition to go get another job. Mike Locksley to Michigan. Yeah. Oh yeah. The DMV ties. Oh, please. Come on. Come on, Locksley. We'll get you together. We'll get you a new job. The hell with Maryland.
Because he is good, bro. He's
very good.
A good big game play caller. You know what I mean?
Now watch out. Now, if Maryland can do the thing and beat one of the better teams in the big, they're always one of those fringe teams. Can you beat an Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State most years? Now is can you beat an Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Oregon, or USC? If they can get one of them games, they can start establishing themselves as one of the upper echelon Big Ten teams. They just never, ever, they be right there. And you said he always has an offensive game plan to beat more talented teams. It is a very impressive thing to see how far he gets into these games before the talent just overtakes it. But it's like at some point we got to take that leap and beat a team we're not supposed to prove that it works, right?
Yeah. It goes back all the way to who's that? When they had him, what was that? 2018 Ohio State. When they had him,
when they had Dwayne Haskins,
they missed him at the 2-point conversion or something.
Yeah.
All the way back then.
I mean, he's been doing that for a while, man. Mike Locksley is an offensive genius, and he's got a good staff. He's got a good staff, man. He's got Kevin Sumlin is out there, Gaddis is out there in whatever capacity he's out there doing, but he's got a good staff, and they usually have good wide receivers, good tight ends, running backs are usually pretty good. So I think that they're a win away, man. But it's the right win. They need the right win. They'll do well today. We'll see how the rest of their season goes. Who we got? I know we're at 3:30. Who else? Let me see here. Got Nebraska, Indiana. Next up, we've got. We're going to close out Ohio State. Let's talk about UCLA at LSU. 3:30. All right. That's an interesting game because I think both teams are overrated. I don't even know if UCLA is overrated at this point after what Indiana did to them.
UCLA is kind of in shambles.
Yeah, they're bad. But I think LSU is a bit overrated. So let's ask an interesting question for a less interesting game, I guess. How close does this game have to be before we say, all right, LSU is not what we thought they were this season?
If it's close and they win by 10 or something like that, like they should blow out USC.
Right, like we know UCLA is bad. We know that, right? We know that. That's a guarantee. So if they're within 10 points of UCLA today, then this is bad for LSU this season. They're overrated. That's how I'm looking at it. That's how I got it. I don't know. That's how y'all looking at it. That's how I'm looking at it for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking for LSU. Like I don't have any faith in UCLA. Like they just shambles all together with what Chip Kelly leaving and Deanton Lynn going to USC. So that's a real rebuild right there. So LSU should smoke them. If LSU doesn't smoke them, that's a little problem. That's a problem, honestly. You expect them to blow them out.
LSU's offense is pretty good. Their offensive line is better than Michigan's. Tell that to South Carolina. Tell that to USC actually, because USC got some decent pressure there too. So
I don't know if I'd say they're extremely good.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, bro. Where were we at, man? He just threw me off with that one. LSU love, but we shall see, sir. Emil Coates, if they show up and drag UCLA, then maybe they're a little bit better than I thought they were. But then again, it's not the greatest measuring stick right now either. Yeah, that's not the best measuring stick either. I think we were up on to Penn State playing Kent State.
Kent State.
Oh, and been calling zero blitz on the first play. The hell, he's not. No, he's not. Don't speak. Knock on wood, football head.
We gotta hope this dude don't do some crazy stuff.
What's wrong with you? Yeah, no. I anticipate a good mix. Penn State at Kent State. Penn State is 2-0. They struggled last week. Was it last week? Or they had a bye last week, I think. The week before last, they struggled versus Bowling Green. That was the week before last. They struggled with Bowling Green.
They ought to roll. I mean, Kent State, like, come on. They ought to roll them.
They should. Kent State's 0-3.
38-6 or 40-something to 10.
But shouldn't they have rolled Bowling Green?
Yeah, for whatever reason, Bowling Green, hey, we know that.
They do
Bowling
give
Green Bowling Green be trying to play a little bit. So, but
do you believe in Drew Outler in the offense?
What's that?
Do you believe in Drew Outler in their offense? Being Penn State's offense. Do you believe is it much improved?
I still got to see them against better competition. I still got to see how they look against Ohio State.
Fact.
Really, the Ohio State. I need to see how they look. Last year, when I saw Penn State play Ohio State, I knew, yeah, they can't beat us. They can't beat us because they can't move the ball on Ohio State. So if you can't move the ball on Ohio State, you're not going to be able to move it against us. I knew that for sure last year. So when I saw that, I knew like they're abysmal. They don't throw it deep. They throw it all these short passes. You lock down the short stuff, dinking and dunking, and it's a wrap.
Yeah,
your water's cut off, and that's what happened on Ohio State and us.
Fact.
So I need to see how they look against Ohio State. A real judge, so I can really judge them.
Yeah, another one of those kind of gimme pick'ems against Kent State. So I obviously got Penn State, but questions about the offense, I guess is what we'll say there. Next game up is Rutgers at Virginia Tech. I happen to think that Virginia Tech is an undercover, like, worst Power 5 team in the country candidate.
Hey,
like quietly. I think Virginia Tech is awful. I don't think they're a very good team. But that's one man's opinion, of course.
Who was the defensive coordinator that was there for all them years? What's his name? Do you remember?
The D coordinator, was it Fry? Didn't he come from Virginia Tech?
No, I can't think of his name.
Wait, wait. Brent Fry is there now, isn't he?
I'm not sure.
Who is the coach at Virginia Tech? Hold on, I might have just slandered that man because I like Brent Fry. Hold on. Tech head coach. It is Brent Fry. Okay, yeah, I take all that back. I take it back. I mean, they have been awful. That's how he got that job. But yeah, no, maybe he'll turn it around. I don't think he's got anything for Shiano and Rutgers today.
Bud Foster.
Who is it? Buddy Foster?
That's who I'm thinking of.
The coordinator.
What happened to him?
I don't know where Buddy Foster is at. Let's see.
It feel like Vatek's been on a downward spiral since Beamer retired and Bud Foster done left. Seemed like they've been on a downward spiral. Yep, Jay Marion, right on time. Exactly.
Bud Foster.
It seemed like they were holding on with Bud Foster.
Oh, he's retired. Yeah, he's retired.
When did he retire?
Following the 2006 season. Oh,
he been gone that long.
He been gone that long. Yeah, I didn't know. That's what, according to Wikipedia. According to Wikipedia, he's been gone since 2006, Johnny.
Bro, stop! It ain't been that long.
Hey, according to Wikipedia, you want to answer this real quick? How do you think Alex will do over USC with our passing game today? Meaning Michigan.
How do you think Alex will do over USC and without? The question is, how much are they going to let him pass? All of this stuff that we're talking about with Orgy is stuff that we really don't know. We really don't know. We're just hoping and, giving our opinion. We don't know how much he's going to do it because they haven't shown it, So I think Alex is capable, but are they going to give him the opportunities? If he misses a guy, are they going to, all right, run it 15 times straight? You know what I'm saying?
Like, we laughing, but like, and I don't want to lay this all at Kirk Campbell's feet, but you the offensive coordinator. You the guy that was defining what the offense was going to look like. And Sherrone Moore gave you play calling duties. So, like, I can't put this on anybody else but you. This is your philosophy. They're your plays. These are your picks. This is you. This is your imprint. So, like, I have to lay it at his feet. And so far, you're right. He hasn't put his full faith into Alex Orgy yet. So this is a prove it day. I agree with Antoine Johnson. Run RPO. Give me Michigan by 2.
He's been saying that since
he's been saying that since Austin. Yeah. He's been saying
that in spring. Last April, he was saying that.
Yeah, for sure. Where are we at? We talked about Rutgers at Vatek.
Bud Foster retired in 2019.
What the hell? Hold on.
Yeah.
Following 2016. So he run the Broyles in 2006. My bad.
Yeah, my bad. He retired 2019. I was about to say, I know I ain't had that long.
I thought I saw his face more recently than that too. I got to read complete sentences.
He was good. He was good. He had them boys ready to smack you.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You got a defensive coordinator like that. It brings a lot of toughness to the team because your offense gonna be somewhat tough. They getting smacked around by that defense. So
facts.
They probably need to. It's over for Vitek. I don't know what they can do.
Brent Fry gonna turn it around, man. Y'all just wait. Next game up is 7:30. We've got another conference matchup. Iowa at Row Your Boat, Minnesota. Who you got, Golden Gophers or the Hawkeyes?
I got Iowa in that. I trust Iowa in that defense and Cade. I trust them more than Minnesota. And what's his name?
And PJ Fleck.
Yeah, PJ Fleck. Yeah,
Now there may be some fool's gold in there. Iowa has struggled versus some less talented teams, at least offensively, and Minnesota was a play away from being 3-0. So I wouldn't count them out of this game, but I would lean towards the Hawkeyes to win.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota sneaks it or if it's a real close game, because they both got similar type of talent.
Yeah.
So now it's just about who's going to execute more.
Facts. So that should be a good one. Good late game, good conference opponents. We have got who's the late games here? Northwestern at Washington. You got the Huskies or you got the Wildcats there. Washington looks good early. I think I expected the bottom to fall out, though, at some point. This would be a good sign as to whether or not they're going to be better than I expected.
Yeah, I got Washington. Jed Fish. I wanted him. Hell, 10 years ago. So some, when him and Harbaugh didn't get along, and so Harbaugh let him go or whatever.
Oh, you wanted Fish over Harbaugh?
At a point, like 2020, I did.
We was getting that way. It was getting that way.
Yeah, because our offense. What's always held us back is the offense. Besides Don Brown, was the offense. So I wanted Jed Fish because that was the best offensive passing game we've kind of had.
I like Jed Fish. I think Northwestern is going to assert themselves in this game. Give me Northwestern. Give me Northwestern. No. I need a shot. I need a shock pick. Give me Northwestern. I'm gonna take Northwestern in that game. We'll reconvene and see how it goes.
No.
Last game before, or the last two, we got Michigan State at Boston College at 8.
That's gonna be a slobber knocker.
Yes, Boston sir. It's Bill O'Brien playing some ball out there at Boston College right now, man.
Yeah, I like the way Boston College plays. Like, if you want to, you don't have the talent of some of these of the top Power 5 teams and stuff. So how can I win? Playing good defense, running this rock down your throat, playing ball control, and killing the clock.
Yeah,
I love that. And I'm looking at. That's why most of us have been looking at Jerome.
I'm like, man, that's what we need over there. Give me some of that Bill O'Brien, baby.
Yeah, look at the team. Shit. This is your best chance to win this year. Yeah. I don't care what you thought it was. Look at the team. That's what it is, So I can appreciate that. Like, yeah, we coming to smack you around, and we're gonna run the ball, kill the clock, and we're not gonna make mistakes. And so that's gonna be Michigan State might get their butt whooped with messing with Boston College.
I think this is another one of those real or fake games. Is Michigan State real or fake? Like we was talking about it with Boxing Maniac last week on the call-in show, right? Michigan State looks good. They've been tossing the ball all over the yard. Marsh and Giles and oh man, they all look so great. But it hasn't been the best competition. So I think Boston College absolutely presents that struggle for Michigan State to kind of see where they truly are versus like competition, right? When the guys on the other side of you are as equally or even better talent. So we shall see how Aiden Childs plays here. I will never root for little brother, so give me Boston College by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I got Boston College by I guess about 3.
Yeah, I will never ever pick Stady to do anything. I think the last game was Purdue at who do they have? Or the last game before our last game, so I can tell my conspiracy theory here. It was Purdue at. Yes, I'm waiting for the ticker to come around to tell me what game it is. Iowa, Minnesota. Who did I pick in that? I think I picked Iowa.
Do you think the Michigan
do it at Oregon?
Better?
Y'all think Michigan defense will be better? I think we've been letting some play this season. So last week, again, be it that the opponent wasn't great, I think that they improved. It'll depend on how long they're on the field. I think we've already seen how it's going to go if they got to play a lot. So our only chance of having them play at their best is if they man, I just lost my train of thought. Play their best is if they're able to keep them off the field and not playing, 50 some odd snaps in a half. You know what I mean?
And part of that is kind of how the scheme is. It's a bend but don't break. Even last year, we would give up a lot of easy outside throws because the scheme there's 7 yards off the ball a lot of the times. The corners 6 and 7 yards, sometimes like 8 yards off the ball, because they're playing a bend but don't break, Then when you get closer to the red zone and, then they dial it up a little bit.
That will be key. You got to keep them out the end zone. If they do march down the field, hold them to field goals. So that'll be big. Yeah. Purdue, Oregon State. Appreciate you, Jay Marion. I don't like much about Purdue this year, to be honest with you. I don't like the way that they present it. Now they've had some tough matchups. They had Notre Dame last week after they had that embarrassing loss, so they caught them on a bad turn. I just don't like. It doesn't feel like they're as invested in the run as they were last year. It feels like they're having a bit of that identity crisis that we had, right? And then last week when Notre Dame got all over them, obviously that's not the most advantageous time to run the ball, but it just hasn't felt like that's been their focus this year, which is disappointing with Devin Maccabee and the other tailback that they had back there last year. You would have thought that that's where they would have started their offense from, but they're leaning on Hudson Card in the passing offense. So we'll see where that takes them. I obviously won't shed any tears for Ryan Walters, one of the biggest crybabies over the sign stealing stuff last season. But I think who is at Oregon State right now? Who took Jonathan Smith's job? Who's coaching out there right now?
I don't know. I've been thinking Oklahoma State since I've been thinking about Oklahoma State all while you was talking.
I forgot who is coaching them right now, but we know our boy DC is out there. Shout out to former Wolverine Darius Clemens. I look for him to get a touchdown versus Purdue today.
I don't know. He's been playing, has he?
I don't know. I have no clue. Somebody was talking about Carmelo English the last week. He plays for a D2 team. I ain't really worried. Andrew Anthony is the only dog that really went out there and ate after he left Michigan. So as far as I'm concerned, it ain't that big a deal. But that's it for the rest of the game. So let me give you my conspiracy theory about Ohio State this week, bro. Let me tell you what I'm thinking. So Big Noon Kickoff is here in Columbus, Ohio, for Big Noon Kickoff to watch Ohio State match up versus the daunting foe, the Marshall Thundering Herd. Now, do that sound weird to anybody else? Tell me that should sound weird to anybody else in the chat. Let me know if that sounds weird to you. That Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt are going to be calling the Ohio State game while they're playing Marshall. Like, we couldn't have found no other games to put at 12 noon. Iowa, Minnesota, maybe. No, we don't want no parts of that. I'm just really confused, right? Until you think about it for a second. Hey, Johnny, the last time, not this season, obviously, because Marcus Freeman is just going to do this every year until they fire him. But last year, what was Marcus Freeman's loss, like that team you're not supposed to lose to at all, not even supposed to be in a game with, and you drop 1-2? Who did that to him last year?
That was Marshall.
Fam, I don't know if y'all believe in sports conspiracies or them putting in fixes or what have you. But if ever you did, this one is prime, baby. Ohio State Marshall. You keep your eyes on this game. You keep your eye. Why the hell else would Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson be calling a game where Ohio State is slated to put up 70 points? Who cares? Who cares? These boys should be playing on FS1 today, but instead they got big noon kickoff. That smells like, to me, a big time upset. Now, I'm definitely not going to pick them, but I'm telling y'all to look out for it. Y'all say what y'all want. Say what you want.
Stop it. They said
I don't care.
Stop.
Tinfoil hat. Marshall, Thunder, and Herd. Listen. Dwight Scott trying to tell y'all Marshall has running backs. I'm trying to tell y'all watch out. I tell you what, if this game is even remotely close going into halftime, just remember I said what I said, okay? Just remember I said what I said.
It's all because of money. She was paying for extra exposure and all facts.
Yeah, but at the same time, they have to actualize this choice with what game is going to get the most views that weekend. There's no way in hell they sat down in the offseason and said, oh, this one, even a few weeks ago, Ohio State Marshall going to be that one. Ohio State Marshall going to be that one. That's going to get the most views in week 4 for sure. Hey, I'm telling y'all, you just watch. Just watch.
He said you on the narcotics.
Oh, shit. Okay. I'm trying to tell y'all, Buckeye fans, y'all better watch out.
I mean, it'll be interesting. They haven't had a test, or they ain't exactly battle tested.
No, I mean, they're not. And I don't know if Marshall's going to be the one to battle test them, but it would be something to laugh at. I would love to see it. Yeah. Anywho, that's the show. I know we had maybe. Let's see if got a couple minutes here. See if we got our special guest who's gonna pop in on us. See what he's gonna do. Any parting thoughts about the Michigan game? Any other games this week? Coming up in week 4, Johnny.
With Michigan, win, lose, or draw, I just want to see them look well coached. Texas, the most embarrassing thing about that Texas game was we looked poorly coached on defense, and we just looked out poorly coached on offense, bringing Orgy in. Like, what are you doing? So I just want to see the defense for real look like they're well coached, like you're in position. Yeah, you make the play or you don't, but look like you know what you're doing. You know what to expect, and go out there and play fundamentally sound defense, because I can't take that guys looking confused and lost. Like, that does something to me, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Get them off the field on third down. Like 100, like definitely get them off the field on third down. Keep them behind the chains. Win first down, number 1, and stop the run. That's the key to success right there for them on defense. Everything else flows from that. Respect to the prediction. We shall see, sir. C-Tech. Appreciate the comment. Yeah, man. I don't really know what to think about the offense. The only thing I do know is that we are going to run the ball. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to run the ball because that's all we got.
I want to see some of these coming out. I want to see some of these busts.
See some turnover busts. Yes, sir.
Multiple times.
That'll definitely help the offense, for sure.
Wink, not weak.
I don't think he's weak. I think he's got some adjustments to make. I think he's got to adjust back to the college game. From Michigan today, I don't want to see our wide receivers giving up before the play is over. Oh no, they're not. They're not gonna do that today. Everybody is juiced. Everybody is juiced for this game. There will be no more, limping up and not running through routes, and maybe just only bull rushing on pass rushes, and we're kind of half-assing it, firing off the ball. I hate to say it, but just from being on teams like professionally and through sports, when you know that there's a, without calling out anybody specific, there's no reason to do that. We on a different route right now, but when you know that there's a lame wheel on the bus, the rest of the machine just don't pull right. Right? The other tires don't work as good. The steering wheel don't work as good. The windshield whack. Everything's out of whack. If that one thing is off and it's going to hold you back, it stops you from going as hard as you would have if you had confidence in that leader, if you had confidence in that guy. I think they have confidence in Alex. So we'll see everybody playing at their best. Win, lose, or draw, we will know what we have in this team out of this game. So I appreciate everybody coming on. Thank you very much. Drop us a like. Please, 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 please subscribe, not only here, but to Johnny Odin's page as well. Make sure y'all head over to him, blow his page up. Come back with us. We'll be here back on Tuesday. We'll be giving post-game analysis from this week's games, Ohio State and Michigan, and then also pre-game analysis for next week's game on 30-Minute Rivals. And then we'll be right back here next Saturday at 11 for the Big at 11 kickoff show. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody again for jumping in with us. Johnny, let them know where to find you.
Oh, yeah. You can find me on YouTube, Johnny Olden Jr. I'm doing pregame analysis, postgame analysis. I do car lives where I'll just talk about college football, Ohio State, anything kind of that comes in my mind.
The man had me worried on them car lives before, man. I was like, man, maybe I need to reach out to my brother, man. I hope he all right. He's going through some things. And then he got back in the house. I was like, all right, we all right, we good.
But yeah, your car lives, I'm at work. A lot of people wonder about that. I have to drive, if I have to drive an hour away for work.
No, I figured you have to drive a long way to get wherever you're going.
It's a boring drive. You know what I'm saying? It gets old after a while. So I started doing the car lives and it makes the trip go faster, and I get to talk some football. So
for sure, man. Well, thank you for, coming in with us. Thanks to all the folks. Again, go blue for me. Wish a loss on little brother. Ohio State's getting upset by Marshall today. All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.